Everybody, Counter-Strike, the Global Offensive, the World Championships 2016, live from Belgrade, Serbia.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Slight delay from the crowd, but we got there in the end. 4 days of the best CSGO around, 8 countries battling it out for $100,000. That is the prize they could have tomorrow. In just over 24 hours, someone will be winning that money. So exciting. Denmark take on Singapore is our game right now. Over to our boys. What are we thinking?
Well, I hate to be the biased one, but I'm thinking Denmark.
Yeah, Kadian said in an interview, he thinks the BO3s will favor Denmark more, and I think he's right.
And we saw what they did already against Singapore. They know how to handle that aggression, that unreasonable aggression, so I think it's going to be in Denmark's favor, this one.
Yeah, short and sweet.
What is it Singapore are going to need to do to really stand out?
So, as you said, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of relentless aggression on the Singapore side. And while I like playing an unpredictable style, I don't think they can try that again. I think they need to switch it up, do something different, and maybe play a bit more conservative, play to their strengths, instead of just trying to come in and take the Denmark side, because that's just not going to be possible due to the sheer skill difference.
Yeah, I think the main strength that Singapore has is their firepower. Yeah. They have Benkai, they have Moxie, Splash Key with the AWP, so they have all of that skill, but on the other side, it's Denmark. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
One of the most skilled players in the tournament, so it's going to be hard if they're going to only rely on their aim.
And I like how you said it's Denmark, and he smiled went like that. Like I mean, it's quite nice to see them play. They have a good play style. They have all the roles needed to win these championships, and I think they're in a good way to reach the final and probably battle. I'm not going to say which team, but I'm favoring currently Turkey.
Yeah, I agree.
Very exciting. We've had a couple of games take place here already today, which has obviously affected things for tomorrow. We're going to go and have a look at the bracket right now and see what you lads have got tomorrow. What we're thinking with this?
Oh, this is looking good. This is looking juicy. France versus Turkey. A sick game that's going to be coming up tomorrow. But we have, of course, Singapore, Denmark now, and after this we have Argentina, Sweden. Yeah. That's going to be really hype as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward for that game, but I just want to mention I wasn't here for Canada against France. And I gotta say, France is stepping up. I mean, the difference from day one to playoffs is huge.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've been playing better and better, so I don't think Turkey will have an easy time going into the semi-final.
No, definitely. I think it's going to be extremely close in that Turkey versus France game.
And I had a bit of a chit-chat with Skroni back there. He's actually not really sad that he saw Canada go home, and even though it was a 16-0, I think I agree with him. It wasn't really that one-sided. There were
exactly.
In the first 8 rounds, those clutches went into France's favor, and after that, Canada just they tilted so much they gave up. So basically, I think that Denmark right now is looking really good, and I think in that matchup of Turkey versus France, whoever comes on top, I think we're gonna see them go up against Denmark currently.
Denmark take on Singapore very, very soon. Two teams that I guess it'd be fair to say haven't had an amazing tournament so far, but today could be the day that all changes. We spoke to the lads from Denmark earlier this week, and here's what they had to say.
Personally, I didn't have any expectations against France, because we know that they're a country that holds really strong players, but I guess we just played our best and we had fun playing, and yeah, it was enough to qualify, so we were really happy about that.
Well, I guess I don't know. I actually believe Denmark, Sweden and France was the favorites to move on. France got a weird way here, I guess, but I believe that France, Denmark and Sweden, if everyone played with the strongest lineups, would be the favorites. I guess you could argue that if Poland, Ukraine and Russia also got some really, really strong players, if they put up the strongest lineup. But I mean, tournaments can sometimes interfere with that.
I think so, yeah. I think there is a couple of good teams and then some teams I didn't hear about before. I think the Turkey lineup is like really strong, and I heard they have been boot camping for 2 weeks to this event, so I think that is gonna be a big task for us. Then we have the France and Sweden and Canadian guys, so there's a lot of good teams, but I believe we can win it all.
Yes, I would say I feel I'm representing the country, the national pride. Whereas Rogue, I'm just representing myself and my team. But definitely representing your country is something else.
Like, national team is a big thing. A lot of countries love to sit at home and watch their team, even though they might not be the one who's contending for the title. Them making a potential upset or just having those star players finally being alongside some of the other players is just great. So I mean, I think like it has a special. It's just special to play in these kind of environments, and it has something that I think is great to see us, and I hope that it's going to continue.
It's so good to be back here on this stage. It's so good to have you guys here in such a big number. I can feel fantastic energy. Let me hear from you guys what the guys will get from the crowd tonight, this afternoon. Thank you, and once again, thank you. Denmark against Singapore. Danish team, we just heard what we can expect from those guys. They had a tough qualifying round, but they made it here to the quarterfinals. It is my privilege to introduce to all of you guys and the whole world the 5 players from the lineup from the Danish team. First, but not the last, Cadian. Then it's Glaze. Snappy. Velden. And finally, here with us on the stage, it's Glaive. Once again, a big round of applause for the national team of Denmark. Okay, before I introduce you to the guests from Singapore and their national team, we'll hear their expectations from this tournament and the match against Denmark.
We felt that everyone basically gave their best and did their best, and we are proud of what we did this year, because compared to last year, we actually finished second in Asia this year, despite losing to China in the finals.
It means quite a lot to me, like, because everybody at home is watching and giving us their support, and I want to show them like we can do something that, you know, that can prove our worth like around the world.
I definitely think that we have what it takes to put up a good fight, not necessarily win them, but at least have a good showing against them. Yeah, to show them that we actually like deserve to have a spot over here.
I think, as what I said earlier, lack of preparation will probably hurt us in a way. But if, let's say, everyone here from my team actually gets their E-game, especially me, I think we could definitely go far. But titles, I would say, getting a shot at the title, why not? But yeah, who knows?
We will get further than before because the lineup is stronger, I feel. I don't want to say anything yet, but we might get second, or maybe even win it, yeah, if we are on fire, and I feel we could be.
is the Singapore national team. They just look very tough, don't they? We'll see how good they will be against the Danish team. Now is the right time to welcome. They came all the way from Singapore for the second year in a row here in Belgrade. Moxie is the first member of Singapore national team here joining us at the Belgrade Arena. Deja Vu, please join us here on the stage. Benkai. I'd say the crowd favorite, Tommy. And the fifth member of the team, Singapore, is Splashkey. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask you again kindly to stand up. We will now hear the national anthems of Danish and Singapore national team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Singapore. Okay, that's it, guys. Shake your hands. Wish all each other good luck and a good game. Crowd, have fun. Enjoy. Desk, it's time to go back to you guys and have as well such a good game and good time here in Belgrade.
Thank you so much. Risk, were you crying then?
I cried a little bit.
Did I see you?
I sang along.
You were so Team Denmark.
Yeah.
Not sure about the crying, but he was definitely the loudest Dane.
Yeah, he was.
In here.
Really, really was. How about we start by talking about the Denmark side? We'll get the lineup on screen right now if you don't know who's playing. Who do you need to watch for and what are these boys going to bring?
Well, we talked about one player throughout the first couple of days here, and that's Valdi, and that will be the one to look for frags. But to be honest, some of the players that I've been focusing on a lot, and we have been as well, is Snappy and Cadian. When Cadian steps up and when Snappy steps up, this team is really dangerous.
Yeah, I especially want to agree on Snappy. I'm quite surprised by how well he's playing, especially in the first day. In the second day, it was kind of a Glaive and Waldy show, but for the first day, Snappy was playing really well. So I gotta agree. Snappy, for me, aside by Waldy, he's the one to watch.
And I mean, you said Waldy, you said Snappy, you said Gadian. I really want to see Glaze show up. I mean, he's not that star player, but he can play really good Counter-Strike, and I want him to step up as well if it's needed to. I mean, he can show up when his team needs him to, but he's a good support player, and he can play on top level, as we've seen him do many times before. And overall, I think, as I said previously, Denmark for me is the most complete team here. Like with this lineup, they can do so much things. They can have the double op setup. They can have Cadian, a star all player, like create his own shots and have the entire team backing him up. We can even see Waldy. As we said, he's a lurker, but he's a really aggressive lurker, and the entire team can follow him if he makes some incredible play that we saw yesterday. He can do that, so yeah. I'm really excited to see them play.
Yeah, and also to know, sorry to cut you off there, Tom, but also to know is that Denmark has two players who has been at a major championship, so they have this experience where they're sitting on the stage, there's a big crowd watching, and there's a lot of pressure. But two of the players have already had this, and they know how to handle it. Singapore, they're traveling a long way, and these are players that are not usually at the major championships. So we have two teams in kind of different levels of experience, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
That's what these guys think here, but as always, I want to hear from you at home, and I kind of want to have, at this point in the competition, a fan off, right? If you are bigging up Denmark at home, or if you're bigging up Singapore, get on Twitter right now. Hashtag TWC 2016 is the place to be. I want to hear from the fans. If you are supporting at home, tweet in right now. I'm going to see which side gets the most support. So you don't want to be coming second in this, because this is absolutely crucial. I think we can all agree. Hashtag TWC 2016. Denmark as a player to watch, who's the one?
Yeah, I think we pretty much said it, to be honest. If it's for frags, it's going to be Valde. If it's for the strategical and carrying the team and kind of like showing the way and calling the strats, it's going to be Snappy. But for frags, definitely Valde, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But the one player we didn't mention kinda is Glaive. And I think Glaive is the one with the most experience on this lineup, actually.
Yes.
I mean, even though he's only 21, I remember him being up there in the Danish scene back in the day when CSGO arrived, and it was Western Wolves and Copenhagen Wolves. So it would be really interesting to see what kind of experience Glaive brings into this team.
Yeah, and I agree with that. As also growing up on the Danish scene, Glaive started out as a top player in Denmark when he was 14. We're talking about a player who's been playing on a top level in Denmark since 14 to now. So that's a huge amount of experience.
I mean, you said it all. I don't know what to add. Like, let's go to Singapore.
Let's go check out the Singapore side right now. We'll bring up the team on screen if you're not aware. What are these players going to bring to the match today?
Like I said, they have some really good aimers on this team. It's going to be Moxie, Splashkey, Deja Vu, Tommy, and Benkai. Benkai and Splashkey, they play together in their team Dreamscape. The third member of the team that couldn't make it is Impression, and it's going to be Deja Vu, another teammate from Dreamscape, replacing him. So those two, I think especially those two, Splashkey and Benkai, are the ones to look at, because Splashkey does wonders with TWP, and Benkai is a really strong rifler overall.
Yeah, I really agree on that. Really been fun to watch Benkai play. Now, I don't watch a lot of Singaporean Counter-Strike in general, so being able to watch him and just seeing, I didn't really expect anything from him. I mean, he's just out there, gun place in every single round, so yeah, he's one to watch for sure.
Like, we've seen incredible performances out of them so far. They managed to beat Argentina in the first map that they played. They managed to beat Argentina, the one team we said they need to beat. And from then on, I mean, they didn't have the most intense plays or the best matches, but they did play good in what I saw, and I'm expecting I'm expecting a quite interesting match. And as I think we pointed out earlier, I think they have a lot of aggression in their play style. And we've seen them play against Denmark, and Denmark knew how to counter it. They knew how to contain that like insane aggression that they had. And it is going to be a fantastic match, but I'm not sure what Singapore is having in store for this best of 3.
Right then, Denmark take on Singapore in under 3 minutes time. So at this point, we're going to go over to the map veto and find out which map we'll be taking on today. What do the team from Denmark ideally not want?
Ideally not want. Well, basically, the good thing about Denmark is that they have such a map pool. I just talked to the players on the stage before and asking them, what kind of map are you looking for? And Glaive just looked at me and said, like, we can play like 4 or 5 different maps. It doesn't matter. We got this huge map pool, so no worries.
One map I think they don't want is actually Dust2. That's one of the stronger maps for Singapore, and that's one of the standard bans for Denmark. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dust2 going out here. But it's going to be Singapore with the first ban, and it's going to be Cobblestone. I think that's another standard ban.
Yeah, but then again, Denmark did beat Canada on Dust2, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, basically we have 7 map pool out of Denmark. They can play all the maps, and we're gonna see overpass ban.
Oh,
I'm not really sure why. I mean,
that's interesting because Glaive said to me they could play overpass.
They can play all the maps.
As far as I've heard, after that match against Argentina, and it was on overpass when they lost 16-14, some players were quite furious after that loss. So maybe this is just banned because of that.
Yeah, and that's a problem with Denmark because they have 2 teams, only players from 2 teams, and like one team does not play overpass at all, and the other just absolutely loves it. So 2 players will always be angry.
Seems like overpass. They prevailed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what the first pick is coming out. It's going to be very interesting to see what map we're going to come out on, to be honest.
I would guess Dust2.
Oh yeah, exactly. As you said.
I guess Dust2.
And this is a bit shaky, to be honest, for Denmark. It's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to take this.
I mean, I've said they can contain the aggression on from coming out of Singapore, but on Dust2, can you really counter that aggression? I mean, can you contain it? I'm not really sure. I mean, they can go aggressive themselves on their CD side, go up, catwalk and go aggressive there, but then again, Singapore can easily go and rush long, and then you have to go on a retake. And I think we're going to see a lot of retakes on this map.
I feel like I'm repeating myself, but like I said, I think yesterday, Dust2 is probably the map you ban once you're coming into the match as a favorite. You don't give them that map, especially if you know that the other team is quite good on that map. So yeah, we saw Denmark on Dust2, they beat in Canada, but we'll see how that pans out against Singapore. And it's going to be Mirage for Denmark. That actually became their ban after they lost to Sweden. So they're going to go back to vintage Denmark from the day one.
They're back to it now. They pretty much said that they probably wanted to play either Mirage or Cash. So we could see Cash as the 3rd map if they try. And that's a ban from Singapore.
We won't see it.
So
we won't see it. The funny thing is, the nuke is still in the map pool.
Yeah, exactly.
And we saw what Denmark can do in nuke against France in the qualifier. I wouldn't be so surprised if we see a train ban and just see nuke as our 3rd map.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was thinking we can end out on Cash, because I'm pretty sure they saw what Denmark can do in nuke. They got to be afraid of that.
Okay, so we have a nuke ban.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting that Denmark bans nuke. I mean, that's the map they played in the qualifier.
Exactly.
Yeah, they lost it once to France, but they won the next time.
But did we...
But I mean, nuke at its state right now, it's such a chaotic map, right? And I guess Denmark just doesn't want to deal with it.
I think we're forgetting one big thing about that last 2 maps. Like Train, Cadian, 22 and 1. Like, that's insane. 9 rounds, 21 frags, 0 deaths. Like, even in the round they lost, he still killed two guys and managed to get away with an op. So if it comes to Train, even though I think it won't, it's going to be a Cadian show for sure.
Right then, anytime Denmark will be taking on Singapore. Under a minute away now. So we need some predictions. And the analyst deck's been pretty good today. What are we thinking?
Well, if I can start off, I'm going to say 2-0 Denmark. Screw it.
Yeah, no bias at all.
Yeah.
I got to agree. It's going to be 2-0 Denmark, although I think Singapore can make it interesting on Dust2.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be close maps.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to say 2-0 and let's go to the game.
Let's go to the game.
I want to keep you guys getting your support in. Hashtag TWC 2016 is the place to go. Get behind your team. They're about to go live right now on day 3, live from the Combank Arena in Belgrade. Everybody, a round of applause, please. So at this point, casters who, from what I know, are both fairly amateur. It's one of their first games together. They're called Jackson and Heron, something like that. Boys, take it away.
Tom, I mean, I know you struggle with reading, much like you struggle with getting it up, because your hashtag's all the way down here, mate. You struggle in the bedroom with that, but you can do it a little bit better. Bring it up, mate, all right? A bit more of that. Sonny, he might be struggling.
He's just a bit of a short man.
I mean,
really.
he is.
He is quite small. If you see him stand up, guys, if you all have a look over to the desk, do you want to give us a stand, Tom? Just stand up.
Yeah, you know,
he's already standing. He'll get shorter if he tries.
Everyone else has got seats. That's just default height, of course.
Of course. But of course, Jack, the other thing that's going on at the moment, apart from Tom being short, is that we have a game going on.
That is true. We do have a fantastic game. Denmark, my boys. I feel like I'm basically an honorary Dane. You know what I mean? I've played with them so much. I love those guys. So, Sonny, what about you? Are you on that other side? Are you there trying to represent yours?
I stood behind some Danes once, and there was an English guy there as well who lost us the game a few times.
That was me. We lost low.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely have to go with Denmark.
Denmark, of course.
Otherwise known as Denmark. Mostly because they just have an awful lot of skill, and they're experienced. So.
Oh my God, we've got some people here. I'm getting invaded. It's all kicking off. Shout out to my mum. Fantastic.
Shout out to my mum for having me.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, she did.
Oh, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed she did, but I guess you're here now, so I have to put up with you anyway. Of course. Oh, it's a short man. There's a short man coming over.
A short man has arrived, everyone. We're going to have a look at height. Come stand next to me, Tom.
Tom's coming in. He's going to be checking out the height difference. So there you go. Standing, of course. But almost. And that's kind of an Olympic event on itself, just trying to jump up.
That really took it out of me, actually, that one over there.
It's a bit of a journey.
Take it away, boys.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one. Go and have a rest.
I'm not a particularly tall man. I'm only 5'10".
Yeah.
So, I mean, he must be really small.
I think Tom's like 2'4".
Something around there.
Technically
He's
a child.
He's classed as a dwarfed.
Yeah. Dwarfism.
A dwarf.
Dwarfism.
It's tough for him. I do feel bad.
So, Sonny.
Yep.
It should be a fun game. We've already had a little bit of banter, a little bit of that sprinkled in. How do you reckon the actual game's going to go? Obviously, jumping straight into it now.
Well, Jackie, I don't think this is a tough call. Now, Denmark definitely have the experience. They have the players. They have the skill. This should be Denmark all over. And you can see the crowd's ready. The crowd is ready. Guys, out of interest, is anyone here supporting Denmark? Yeah, I think
Denmark. But who's here for Singapore?
Oh, okay. They're like an underdog. I like an underdog. I like dogs.
Love a bit of an underdog.
Actually, in general. Dogs are great.
It should be good. I mean, Singapore, they've got that lineup. They have a powerful team there. Deja Vu is someone that really can cause you an awful lot of havoc if you're not able to shut him down early as well. Splash Key, the youngest player on that side, only 17 years old and already causing a stir.
Well, I guess you could say he's causing a splash.
Ba-bam.
Ba-bam.
Fantastic.
Absolutely great. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but Denmark and Singapore actually have the same colours on their flag.
It's true. Same colours. Different teams, different men.
Yeah, and different countries as well.
Yeah, that is true. All of these are actual facts.
Yeah, I mean, Denmark's on one side of the world, and the others, Singapore's on the other side of the world. So, I mean, this is what TWC is all about, Jack. Different sides of the world.
Do you want to know a little bit of Danish, Sonny?
Reglømmerfleur?
Reglømmerfleur. It's the hardest word in Danish for someone that's not Danish to pronounce.
Do you reckon we can get the crowd to say Reglømmerfleur?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Maybe another time, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe another day. But it seems like we're already underway. We're into the game. Singapore versus Denmark. Dust2 is going to be the battlefield. It should be a fantastic one. Singapore, they can be deadly on this map, but we know Denmark can be too. And they're going to be kicking it off with some early smokes down mid. Try and block off the Singapore side. Zone them out a little bit and then go aggressive with a mid to B split towards Appy bomb site. But Deja Vu kicks it off. As we said, this man could be powerful. Unfortunately, though, Valdi, the absolute assassin that's on the side of Denmark, will take him down.
Yeah, Benkai trying to work his way back on into the site. There is no lurk at all. This is all guns blazing in that B-bomb site. And so far, Singapore are very reluctant to get in, but finally they come flying in from all angles. And let's see if they can get in there. Benkai with the USB in hand, going to be trying to do some work. He's going to find one. Tommy follows it up onto Kaden, and suddenly this is a 2 versus 4, and this is going so badly. Singapore, out of nowhere, they win the round.
Fantastic, Singapore. We wanted this. We needed them to come in hard and strong. Their CT side, they're able to pick up that first round with only one casualty on Deja Vu, and a great play from him to get that initial frag as well.
Teammates. The ace is on the team. The team has taken a kill each, and they've all had a good day. And, well, what a great round coming in from Singapore, starting this one off strong. And, I mean, if they keep on like this is going to be real tough for Denmark. But I see the force buy coming in here, Jack. Even though they've got the bomb plant down, they could go for the AKs in the next round. I do see Denmark going the force buy, being a bit audacious. I mean, this is Cadian. He wants the scout, he wants his CZ. He's probably going to get one of each.
Yeah, if we see that coming out as well, that's the thing. You can soften up your opponents, get them a lot more squishier, make it easier so they don't have a lot of sustain late into the round, and then pick them off with the rest of those pistols. Denmark are very good at using that as well. They'll try and get, you know, any extra advantage they can out of those sort of situations. Fantastic communication is what we've seen. It's only been getting better throughout the tournament for them, so it's a worry. But Singapore, it's the same sort of idea. They're very structured in their play style. Denmark will basically just be playing a lot of split and pick usually throughout this game, especially on Dust 2. It works in that favor, and they're limited here. This is, you know, theoretically on Dust 2, your options are very slim in what you can actually go for when you don't have anything to play with. Utility is going to be limited, so it's just a matter of time, really.
Yeah, and as you can see here, Benkai and Tommy, this was the rear attack, and it's just an absolute domination there. As Denmark go down on all fronts, they haven't actually gone with a force buy here, which is somewhat of a surprise, but they're playing the safe game. They're going to be able to get the AK-47s out into round 3. But this does give Singapore an opportunity to take themselves 2 rounds into this straight off the bat. 250s to play with, and Tommy going to be able to dispatch Cadian very, very quickly. And yeah, this should be a pretty easy cleanup coming in from the Singaporeans' emporium of weapons. AKs not on the map right now. Splashkey takes 1, 2, 3, and can he find the 4th? The 4th has fled in fear of this man destroying him. And it's going to be Tommy to close it out. Singapore take themselves the 2nd round, and Denmark are going to be now on the bye.
Yeah, great though. No casualties on the side of Singapore. They don't have to spend any extra cash. They can keep that in their back pocket and hold on to it to a rainy day. Meanwhile, Denmark, this is where they're going to be coming out. Hey, we're back.
I don't know why that happened.
This is lovely. Fantastic.
I could have been naked.
That's true. Put those pants back on, silly bear.
I will not.
All right, so yeah, actually finally getting into it as well. The AKs will be on display. They picked them up and they're ready to slay from far away, but can they do so? Or will Singapore be able to keep up this absolute win streak they've really started to bring to the table? They're looking good. Everyone's looking very crisp right now in Singapore. This is what we want as well. They have that deadly aim. We know they can be so proficient in being able to get those opening frags. But in the past, it looks like it's not quite clicked. Today, it's a whole different story. Valdi, though, a great angle. They have to push into him, trying to get that extra bit of information. They could have just held back if they wanted to, but he had that read, aware that they'd try and get overconfident. Amazing opener to kick off this one.
Yeah, and Splashkey just playing on the other side of this door. Now, the thing in the B tunnels is they were unable to refrag that because the Molotov was down. That gave such a massive opportunity to Valdi to escape and get away with a free kill. And a free kill in this game is how you win rounds. Giving Denmark the opportunity now to just sit back, relax, chill out, and do their thing as Glace finds Tommy. And now a massive opening into the round. It's 3 versus 5. This is Dust 2. This is basically a win already. And let's Singapore get themselves back into this right now as Glaive tags down poor little Splashkey to only 4 HP, the youngest player, I think, in this entire tournament right now. And definitely proving its worth in a 2-0 lead against Denmark. But this is looking like Denmark straight back in. 40 seconds remain now. They need to get themselves onto a bomb site. It's all well and dandy having the frags, but you need to get in, and Moxie may give an opportunity. As Glace missing his shot somewhat. He's going to be having to fall back as Splashkey works his way into the site, but with only 4 HP. Glaive takes him down with a headshot. Moxie finding Glace over on long. That means the retake can come in a 4 versus 2. Moxie and Benkai. Can they get anything done? Moxie just tapping away on Snappy, but it's not going to work out, so this could just be the save coming through as Benkai works his way forward. Maybe not. Glaive going to take down Benkai, and well, this is all over. Moxie now, the last man alive, going to be taken down by Valdi from the behind. And that is Denmark, 1 round up, and half the score of their opponents.
Yeah, that's so awkward there as well, because basically when you try and get that short control, you just need to try and stay alive more than anything. If you get picked off, it's just horrific. You're left in this whole world of pain. If you can just back off, allow them to take map control, retake a little bit later into the round, it works a whole lot better. But just pincered from both sides, unable to get out of there and just get punished for it. Now Singapore as well, the reset comes into effect, so you don't have a lot to play with. 2 Deagles are going to be coming out, dressed them fairly standard, just some 5-7 sprinkled in there, 1 P250 on Splashkey. You only have that 1 kit of armor as well, no head armor on display, and they're going to start to get picked off. Valde does come in with the opener. They've just gone for aggression, the shock and awe style play. They want to catch Denmark off guard. They will find 1 frag, forcing out a rebuy into the round. Splashkey keeps up the damage as well as he takes down Snappy, but that's essentially all they should get right now. Left in a 2 versus 3. Glace is fairly low, so they might still be able to cause a bit of a stir if they go into this late B round retake. Moxie going to try and bite off potentially more than he can chew as he peeps in with that deagle in hand, wants to get the angle on towards Valde, but he doesn't have to peek into him just yet. He's only got 62 HP here, Sunny, and they regroup. Now's the go time. You want to initiate off the back of this flashbang. They're going to try and work their way in, but actually, seems like they have second-guessed it. This is smart play. Deja Vu, go and save onto the AK-47, send Moxie in as the suicide squad, allow him to get sacrificed if he needs to. Just try and find those frags, but it won't work. We'll get punished by Glaive. At least they have this AK as a silver lining.
Yeah, it's something to take into the next round, but the problem with that, Jack, is that they're going to be able to buy next round either way, so he might as well try and do some damage. I mean, with only 3 players surviving here, Denmark definitely going to be losing out on the old Casharino, but if there being a kill coming through, maybe there's an opportunity to force a few more rebuys, make Denmark just a little bit more vulnerable to a break in the economy, but it's not going to happen, so it's going to be a pretty decent advantage going the way of Denmark as we move on forward, but it's still 2-2. This is definitely not over, and Singapore putting some work in. Now, this is the rounds where it really matters. The rifle round so far have gone to Denmark, and the pistol round to Singapore. What that means is Singapore, they found themselves the one round where they can get the double, but they haven't found themselves the round where they can continue that and break the economy of the enemy. So that's what they really need to concentrate on here.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, Denmark as well, it's one of those sort of things where at the beginning of the match, it looked like they weren't coming into it straight away. It was a little bit of a slow burner, but now they're starting to find their footing once again. And Valde's going to be the one to watch for plays like that. 4 frags on the board right now, leading the charge, neck and neck with Glaive though, but Valde is usually, he can be this lurk player, but it's always very aggressive. He'll go for these hyper-aggressive attacks and then go for that backline as well. Basically, if you allow him to get into that power play position, he will just mow down your backline time and time again and leave you essentially completely destructured. He's just going to tear you apart, destabilize your entire team, and it just goes south from there. Singapore, they have to attempt to eliminate that. It's been a lot of short control coming out from Denmark as well. They're allowed to gain that map control very early.
Yeah, so the question is, can they hold on to the control that they gained straight off the mark, or is it going to fall apart? Denmark, they can use this technical pause as somewhat of a strategy meeting. So basically, the business is coming to, it's coming to a bit of a peak. They're doing pretty well, and so Denmark have called a business meeting. They've said, right, what's the business plan for this next annual year, or business year, financial year? And, well, they're saying, right, well, let's invest in ourselves and create a better team.
Yeah, step 1, kill. Step 2, win round. Step 3,
repeat.
Profit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right there. Good meme.
That's basically how that operates, but it seems like we will be jumping back in shortly. The unpause will be coming into effect. But what's good as well is that AWP has now been donned on the CT side. Moxie's going to be the one wielding it. Doesn't have any armor though. He's going full glass cannon, balls to the walls. Let's see if that will actually affect him negatively into this one. And Cadian also has that absolute beast of a weapon in his hands. We know how proficient he can be. He really is quite a scary player. We'll go for those more organic sort of roaming frags, try and take your team apart towards mid there as well. Luckily the smoke was out there, allowed to safely cross, or else that could have been a bit of a damaging opener early on into the round, Sonny.
Yeah, for sure. But so far Singapore have gotten off pretty lightly. No tagging coming through. Cadian's or just having to move around and see what it can get done as Glaive is the first man through the breach. He's going to have to try and contend with Benkai and Splashkey both on the point, but Cadian is the man to open it up. Takes down Splashkey, smoke goes through and Benkai is blinded, but he has a little window of opportunity here. He spots ahead, then he takes it down. Snapping out, shooting at the area he may have been, but it's too late and too little. And as Benkai goes for the second, but he can't find it. Cadian comes in and saves his teammate as Valde takes down Deja Vu. Now Tommy and Moxie versus 4 over on that B-bomb site, and this is almost an impossible retake. The B-bomb site on Dust2 is one of the most difficult bomb sites to retake in this Counter-Strike game that we have, especially when you're up against an opponent with more players than you. So it is going to be the save coming through. Moxie holding on to that AWP. Tommy helping him out with the M4A1S, keeping that into the next round and hoping and praying to the Lord above that they are able to do this.
Yeah, and this is the thing as well. Moxie does actually find a nice little frag towards Cadian there. Goes for the pop shot, hoping he can get the secondary on as well. As the cross came out off the back of Snappy. Couldn't quite do it just yet, though. The end game here is to just hold onto those weapons, try and do damage to Denmark's economy if you can find those exit frags. They've already got that one into Cadian, though. The AWP was dropped. Snappy can recover it, which isn't fantastic for Singapore, but still a whole lot better than the situation they were previously in. Denmark as well, though, aware their economy isn't booming that far out of control just yet, they cannot afford to try and go for the hunt to punish Singapore. They just need to hold back.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, they say, Jack, and Singapore need to show some of that. the old patience.
Yeah, here we go. Let's get the wave going, guys. Come on, let's show some support for these teams.
Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
It's true. We've gone back.
You're gonna have to use noise to show support. Imagine that. Or out on Singapore thanks to the save, and they got the M4A1S on Tommy. So let's see, Cadian, he's going to go for the shot, but nothing coming out of it. There is a little bit of a buy-up coming in, but they're still going to be able to buy next round. So Denmark, they should be able to take themselves 4 rounds here. And going into the next one, it's going to be Singapore back onto the buy. Moxie on the AW peak, contending that of Cadian. The peak comes through, but he's dropped the angle. The AWP has fallen back. Cadian now holding, but it's Tommy all on his own. He can be really easily taken down here, but it's going to be Glaze going down as Moxie will destroy. Tommy finding one more for himself, and now in 3 versus 5, this is looking really good for Singapore. Finally, Valdi gets back in. 1 kill comes through, 2 kills come through, and Moxie has to recover the pieces with the AWP in hand. Cadian misses a shot. No kill coming through on the low HP player, and Valdi somehow still alive. Glaive comes in the flank, and that is it. The A-bomb site completely and utterly massacred. This reminds me of the Second World War, Jack.
Ooh, topical. Of course.
Tropical.
Probably was, actually. Yeah, would be surprised. Cadian as well has this angle on lockdown now, so if Benkai has to peek into him, can easily just eliminate him, swiftly strike him down. You do see the push coming out, I believe, though, from Deja Vu, as he just works his way around up short. Wants to try and get in and find something if possible. They do have that bomb. He was just waiting, though, hoping that he'd actually try and go for that backstab a little bit earlier and punish him. Now the bomb needs to cross, even though, you know, Deja Vu can't go for the peek yet. He can't really try and do anything too much on his own. They don't have really too much of an investment into the round, so it won't matter if they get picked off. It's basically just do whatever you can do now. At this point, just draw out rebuys from Denmark. That's the best case scenario. Cadian actually gets dinked down to 10 HP. I mean, that is just brutal. And the spray comes out as well from Benkai. There's nigh on impossible of a chance that he actually picks up this round, but he's already got 2 frags into it. He's hungry for the 3rd one, pushing up on towards the site now. If he can best Glaive, he has that all-important defuse kick. Glaive goes out for the peak, does tag him down. He's so low, just left on 41 HP, but he's going to try and make this work, pushing up onto the site. Time is of the essence. He needs to react quickly. The peak comes out from Glaive, but unfortunately not. It's not meant to be, and Glaive will punish him.
Yeah, massive round there from Glaive, and that was way too close for comfort as Cadian goes down. The AWP is dropped and the opportunity comes through, but it's not enough, and Denmark take a 4th round. But as you were saying, Jack, they still force all those rebuys, so Benkai has enabled his team to once again have the opportunity to break Denmark. If they win this next round, Denmark are going to be very, very low on money, and so that's going to really restrict them going forward. But right now, it's all fine for Denmark. They have the weapons, they have the utility. They should be able to do pretty well into this round. But we're going to have to wait and see. Nice shot there from Splashkey, taking Slappy out. And, I mean, that's a great way to open the round. So, Denmark going to be able to get back into this one.
Yeah, Denmark. 1 man down on Snappy. Trying to go for that B pincer play. A lot of mid-control coming out as they want to make their way through towards that B-bomb side. Valdi as well. We know he goes for this aggressive lurk style of CS where you just charge your way in, cause a distraction, force them to overcompensate. He will get 1 frag as well towards Benkai, and here comes that mid-aggression now. They can make that call known, give them the information to the rest of his team that there's just 1 man left on the scene of the crime, and it's Deja Vu, low HP, trying to sprint out of there, needs to get into the tunnel so he has a bit more cover, and you can see that rotate now. Singapore trying to group up as they need to go for this. Limited utility. You've got 1 flash, a smoke to work with, and a Molotov. It's not too fantastic at all. That's really not glorious for the job they have to try and achieve. They've been sent in to fix some plumbing with a spanner.
You can fix plumbing with a spanner, Jackie.
It's true, I meant a screwdriver. Sorry.
Okay, that will not work as well unless you're using collar grips. But either way, I'm sure they'd figure it out. Cadian finding one with the AWP. He knows there's a second one there. Almost got the collateral kill. He's just going to hold down the angle, but it's been smoked off. Does this mean the kill's not coming? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But Tommy gets taken down. Cadian is still going right now, and he's going to look towards the window. No one there, but he sees himself a Splashkey, a wild Splashkey, if you will, as Glaive takes down Moxie. And, well, Splashkey is out of there, and he's hoping that he's going to get 2 kills through the bomb. Collateral damage, but it's not going to happen. Splashkey just has to back off, run away, and hope and pray that Denmark don't find him in his hidey hole.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get through, hold on to that weapon, bring it into the next round. Luckily, wasn't picked off, and this is crazy. I mean, some of these rounds are just so close, time and time again, really down to the wire stuff, but Denmark just seems to be able to edge it out ever so slightly.
Yeah, each and every time it seems a little bit more difficult for Singapore, but Denmark are just proving why they are the stronger team, why they're the favoured team in this matchup. There's going to be no kill on the cross for Cadian, but with Benkai getting a bit aggressive, there may be some opportunities. Waiting for the reload on Glaive, but he's not going to be able to take advantage of it. Glaive is about to stand on Benkai's head. He's on his... is he on his head? Not yet, but, I mean, Benkai's taking him clean off. Headshot comes through, and Cadian going to follow it up, takes down Benkai, so the trade comes through. But at this point, Denmark need to get themselves a man advantage. The way you need to play against an e-going team is find the first kill and then trade in, using all your utilities to make sure you don't need to trade and just get the kill in the first place. That's how Denmark are going to be playing this one, all as a unit, working together and making things happen, Jack.
Yeah, and this is true. I mean, they're limited as well. You don't have the best arsenal here, just with those pistols. Tommy does have the armor, luckily, so it'll be easy for him. Basically, this entire round rides on Splashkey being able to get opening picks if they take him into 1 versus 1s. And it's going to be hard. Luckily, he's the one defending short from this angle. He can be complemented as well by Moxie. He's got the flashbang and the deagle, just playing over by Goose. But it's going to be so damaging. Really is going to be a terrifying attack when they go for this execute due to the amount of utility Denmark still has. From the back line, they attempt to go in, but it doesn't really work out. Tommy's going to hit the deck as well. Splashkey is still alive, has his dynamic duo teammate in Moxie, but they've already done the damage towards B. They can now just slip over there. No reason to risk going towards A, so they're just going to walk straight in and claim the site as their own.
Yeah, exactly. This is really not working out too nicely just yet for Singapore. They are going to be holding on to those weapons. If it was the A attack, they may have been able to defend and try and do some damage, but seeing it was B, they just give up. They don't need the extra aggression. They're just going to say, happy days, move on with our lives, let's try and hold on to these weapons. But so far, Jack, the story of Singapore has been, how many weapons can we save? Whereas it should be, how many kills can we get? And that's not working out too nicely just yet for Singapore. So maybe there's more to come, but right now Denmark are proving why they are the dominant side, why are they the team on top. And out of the two white and red teams right now, I'm supporting Denmark to win this game, just because it's not working too well for Singapore. They took 2 rounds at the beginning, pistol round, subsequent round. That's it so far. And Denmark don't seem to show any signs of giving them anything back. So what can you do?
Well, this is the thing as well. The economy has not really been in their favor for quite some time now. They only get that odd buyout here and there and can't go for the full extension of what they want to do because of that. And it's horrific to see, unfortunately, as well. You know, as you were saying, they didn't even claim all 3 of those rounds off the back of the pistol. They were able to link 1 in and then got just shut down. Since then, it's really been the Denmark show. Singapore are getting them into close situations time and time again, but they can't edge it out just over the finish line, which is horrible. That small little bit of choke that comes in towards the end where it seems like there are these potential rounds that they can win if just one more player has that small individual strength, that small impact frag comes out, but it's just not really working out. Meanwhile, Denmark are just an absolute war machine right now, firing from all cylinders, looking perfect, just being able to take that fight.
Yeah, and once again, the buy is not great for Singapore. They have got all rifles and kits, but the utility is certainly lacking. So coming into a site hold or a retake is not going to work out too nicely for them. I mean, Denmark just have everything they want to play with. They are just in a toy shop of utility, Molotovs, and flashbangs. Of course, that would not be a very good toy shop, and I'm sure it would get shut down eventually, but worth a try, I guess, if you have the money and you like toys.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you might as well, right? And that's what Denmark are going for, a little bit of why not. They've got short control so many times. They want to try and take it again. Snappy comes in with the opener. Cadian as well. See a Splashkey as he gets absolutely decimated there, blown out of the server. Tommy, he's in this position, just sitting under by close CT. Wants to try and see if they're going to try and get towards ramp. He should find that frag fairly easily. They can't actually go for it just yet. Benkai will come in nevertheless, takes down Snappy. Cadian fires back, will eliminate Deja Vu. Tommy also going to hit the deck, falls just to Benkai. He's the only one with a frag into the round on the side of Singapore. He's hungry for more. Would need to try and go so unbelievably huge to get the round, and it will not happen. Glaze drops down, hits the deck, and brings him.
Brings him what?
Brings him dead.
Did you say dead? I didn't hear the dead.
Brings him death. Death.
Yeah,
dead
once
now.
again, it's a great round coming in from Denmark. And what does Singapore even do at this point to try and get themselves back into this when they're just being demolished at every stage? There's really very little that can be done except for just changing something up. They need to take a tactical pause. I mean, it's 2-7. They're down 5 rounds. And Valby is taking them even further down, taking them down a peg. And once again, we see Denmark in a great position. Snappy comes in to clear out the work his teammate did. Even goes for some more. He's being tagged up, but he's not being fragged up. And I'm not sure if that was a tag through the wall there. There's very much potential that it could have been from Cadian. And this is going badly. Yeah, it was. Cadian managed to tag him through the wall on the mid area. He's now going in with... Okay, he's going for a bit of a simple play here. He's got the Tech 9 out and ready. But there's no jumping going on, so we're going to have to wait for the old jumping. No jump pad. Deja Vu going to take down Cadian, getting a little bit over-aggressive now, leaving it a 3 versus 3. But the AWP is out of control and out of containment. So let's see if Singapore can try and pull this back with only pistols in hand. Moxie's found himself the AWP. He can do some work with that. That's a glass cannon ready to go. Benkai going to take down Valdi, who was low on HP already. I mean, the B-bomb site is under the control of Denmark, who have the weapon advantage. But I mean, there's potential here for Singapore to get in and do some work. Glace needs to find himself a kill very, very quickly. Glaive, I'm sure, can do just as well a job. So 2 versus 2. No armor to play with in Singapore. If they get hit once, this is over, and they're going to be in trouble as Glace takes down Deja Vu. Now all onto Moxie, AWP in hand. He's recovered it from a teammate. Can he make this work? No, it's not going to happen. He's saving onto that weapon, and once again we see the Singaporean save.
Yeah, has the fallback. Moxie as well is going to try and hold for those exit frags for a little while, but realizes it's too much risk. Just needs to go back, hold on to that orb, bring it into the following round. Give it back to Slashkey and see if he can achieve too much. Luckily, the Danish team will push into him. He gets that opening frag. Glace as well basically just has to hold his ground now. There's no reason to peek into him, but Moxie will take the fight and bests him. So good stuff in the win there towards that. He's going to force out the 5 rebuys on the Danish side, but they should still be very calm. You know, this isn't really too much of a major feat that's just coming off the back of the Singapore side. Denmark is still going to be dominant. They have everything they basically need getting into this one, and I mean, it doesn't even matter if they do. We keep popping up there. Cheeky.
Yeah, so next time send a postcard and let us know we're popping up, because otherwise I've got my Bravo Sunny Orange out.
Other brands
I don't want you to see my Bravo Sunny Orange.
Of course.
It's a little bit empty now, and it should be full. Anyway, Valdi, a little happy face. He is ready to do some defending. There is, of course, the bomb getting ready to move into the mid area. Benkai just holding close as Cadian storms down towards his position. M4A4 in hand. It's a pretty good buy coming out here from Singapore, as they did eco on the last one. There's a very meaty smell at the moment. Not sure if you're catching a whiff of that. Not sure if it's me or you.
Smells powerful, like Denmark. It's very,
yeah.
Very musty, very strong smell as they try and make their way through into this. Maybe it's you. Oh, it is you.
It's not. It's not me. I can guarantee it's not.
And this is the thing as well. That double up setup coming out on Singapore could be a bit of a game changer into this one. And look at this. Oh my god, this is Smokes Art Benkai as well. The trigger patience on display. He can get all the way around behind. All the information, the read off the back of this, especially when he gets on short. No one should be watching this angle. He's aware of that. And now he can strike. The 2K comes in. Benkai, absolutely genius decision making there as he's able to get those 2 huge frags.
I figured out what it is, Jack.
Of course there is. Someone's having some nice food there. They come back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well. I thought it was me. I thought I was just really smelling. But no, I'm glad Tommy going to be going down. I'm not glad Tommy's going down. I'm just glad that I don't smell a burger. So it's Moxie. He's going to follow that up. Take down Glaive. It's the trade frag coming through now in a 3 versus 2 situation. This is looking really, really good for Singapore to try and take themselves a 3rd round into this game.
Valdi as well has this angle on lockdown now. Will find the frag on towards Deja Vu. Is able to kill him. Moxie focusing towards the A bomb site. What more can he actually achieve? Will come in with that headshot off on towards Glace. Now it falls just on Valdi towards mid. Slashkey will just go for that random shot. Can't quite connect on him just yet. Takes him down with a pistol. They're actually grabbing the bomb here. They're going to be able to pick up the round. Singapore, they get another one on the board. 3 rounds now.
Yeah, so Singapore, maybe this is their opportunity to try and take that 7-8 scoreline. I mean, if they can get back into this and find 7-8, then that's huge. But if Denmark reset them at this juncture, it probably is going to be a 12-3 score, and that's leaving way too much down to the pistol round. So Singapore really need to get back into this one right now. And here's that play by Benkai, just incredible ingenuity. He spots out the head of Cadian, and he just thinks, this is my golden time to shine. And he takes full advantage of it. Moxie just clearing out the end of the round, Valdi becoming the last man alive. But it wasn't strong enough. Denmark do lose out, but they've got such a strong economy, it really doesn't matter too much to them. I've never really seen the point of equipment value at the top, the little bar. I've never used it.
So you know which team invested more so into the round?
I know, but you can see that if you just look at the thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Benkai going to be able to take a little bit of attacking in. Takes down one. Snappy going to fall, but attack comes through. Cadian going very aggressive with only a P2K. Is going to be able to win out. And very, very good trade, but could have been really bad if he hadn't found that kill. I think an economy meter at the top would have been better as Valdi finds himself a kill. And Deja Vu will be able to trade it out, leaving it out of 3 versus 3, but it is once again going to be that B split. It's worked out so many times in the favor of Denmark, with Deja Vu this time holding close. Glaive going to eliminate him with only 12 HP remaining, and the quick push comes through in mid. They want to get straight onto this bomb site, stop that bomb plant, and find a kill before it's too late, as Moxie takes down Glace now in a 2 versus 2, but Glaive so low, this could get really, really dangerous. Tommy is trying to get on through, but Cadian holding close to the AWP in hand, and he's got the support of Glade on the AK-47 from behind. It should be, if Denmark can just hold on, it should be the round into the bag. Tommy trying to get in, but the Molotovs are just holding him out. He's burning himself alive. He's frying his feet, cooking them up, and hoping to eat them later, because, I mean, he doesn't need feet for anything else. He can play his computer games.
It's true, and then they come though into the site using those features. They sprint their way in. KDN unfortunately did kill his teammate, but he equalizes it a little bit as he gets the follow-up frag and is able to find the fast one on towards Moxie.
Finding a 4K there, KDN.
Yeah, that's nice.
3 kills with the enemy, 1 kill of his own. I think Glaive would have been quite annoyed, but I guess you can move on once he wins the round for you.
I feel like it's impossible to annoy Glaive. He always just looks happy.
He just looks fine all the time.
Yeah. He's just loving life. Maybe.
We could try
after the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Worth a shot. Anyway, round of course underway. It's 3-9, Denmark in favour. They've reset the economy of Singapore. They've completely thrown them off, and Snappy taking down Moxie. This is just money-making operation right now. Pablo Escobar would be jealous as Tommy going to take down Snappy. Well, it is only a Mac 10 recovered, and all of the enemy players have head armor. It's not going to work out too nicely. KDN still holding. Gets the tag through the wall there. You can see the blood on that Humvee door. And Glaze going to close it out by taking down Deja Vu. 3-10. And Denmark in a very, very strong position. If they win this round, they have a very good chance to take themselves a 12-3 scoreline. And then all they have to do is win the pistol round. And, well, this game is all over.
Yeah, this has been just a bloodbath coming out towards the end from Denmark. You get little hints of Singapore stepping up, but it's too little too late, essentially. And with the economy they have now as well, it really isn't going to play into their favor. This is nice, though. The initiative coming out as they try and gain mid-control early. Tommy with the opening frag. Tommy with the second as well as he takes down Glaze. Looking good into the round. Fantastic way to start this one off, leaving just 3 members alive on Singapore. KDN will just go for the random shot, hoping to take down Splashkey, but he's allowed to back off. They have the bomb in their control as well, but so much map control is being given to them, but it doesn't matter. Tommy looking powerful with that 5-7, rips his way through. Snappy will fire back before he's eventually traded out, and it all falls to KDN. Has to throw away the AWP, grabs the AK, but it's not going to matter. Moxie with a headshot. The eco round win from Singapore.
Absolutely insane stuff coming out there from Singapore, using those pistols, using that aggression, and just winning out. Tommy with that 2K was absolutely enormous, putting him on a 9-1-1 score. Well, it's not great, Jackie. It's impact frags that matter in this game, and they are impactful frags. Luckily for Denmark, there is plenty of money on the board, so they can get themselves the full rebuy. And so they still have the opportunity to take 11 rounds, but Singapore are definitely back into this. If they take 5 and then a pistol round, they have the opportunity to get back in. Otherwise, they could be seriously in trouble. So let's see who it's going to be taking themselves a good advantage into this. So far, Tommy's getting aggressive, but Glaze is holding the angle down and takes his head clean off. Tommy should be called Headless Tommy right now, because that is a big old hole to have in your head as Splashy tries to take down Glaze. It is not going to work out too nicely for him, and that is trouble in Terrorist Town as Glaive now finding himself a kill. Deja Vu becomes the last man alive, and KDN doesn't care. He takes him out, and he does not look back in anger.
Yeah, really just whipped his way through so quickly there. I mean, what can you say?
Bad luck. Rest in peace.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, Jackie. And you know what else is unfortunate?
What?
Life.
Yeah, life can be hard sometimes, and that's what we're learning here for Singapore. That's the moral of the story.
The moral of the story is what?
Exactly.
So you're looking at Denmark here. Jackie, do you want to name the players from left to right? A bit of trivia.
Clay, Snappy, KDN, Valdi, Glaive. I don't know why it took me so long to remember what Valdi was called. Anyway, rounding coming up. Let's see what they can actually achieve now as they push their way up mid. They're going to go very aggressive on their CT half. This is, you know, can be expected at times. You can cash off the T's, and Valdi will come in. Fantastic opening frag on towards Benkai, and here they go, working their way now in towards CT. Oh my god, KDN! That is just absolute filth as he just batters down Tommy. He's hungry for more as well. What a juicy shot to kick off the round. Just absolutely cheeky.
Dirty shot indeed. As Glaze holds his angle, can't quite find the head, but still in a 5 versus 3. The B-bomb site should be retakeable at this time. Glaive, nice shot onto Deja Vu. Now Splashkey has to jaw, but he can't do it. Glaive is an actual Glaive, removing heads like it's his job. And that is quite a pistol round for Denmark. The last time I saw a pistol round like that, France were playing and Canada wasn't.
Dead now, of course.
Of course. To the Canada fans, I think they've returned.
Have they come back?
I think they may have come back.
They've come back to represent their side.
Have they? No. No, I think the Canada fans have gone home.
They've left. They've left the building, much like the team.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But Denmark,
to the bar.
They're still representing. They're still going absolutely huge round after round of domination coming out. This will be a long take from Singapore. They're going to try and use that one flashbang over, which is a pop flash, and then work their way in, see if they can find anything. They are going to be zoned out as well. And Snappy on the close angle with this UMP. It might not work out too fantastically for him unless his teammate can aid him. He turned around, will just be able to rail down on the trigger now. Finds a 2K very quickly. Glace as well going to come in for the hat trick, you would imagine.
I thought you said unless his teammate Canadian. Trying to say Cadian. You said unless his teammate can aid him.
Yeah.
That really confused me. It's not. His name's not Canadian.
No, it's not Canadian. There you go. Everyone's still wild up, ready for this game. They're loving it right now.
Flashing lights. Hope no one's got
epilepsy. That would be terrible.
Or photo-triggered epilepsy, yeah.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's not good in any situation, Jack. Anyway, only pistols to play with here in Singapore, and this is Denmark trying to take themselves a 14th round right now. Cadian going to have to back off a little bit as Glaive takes himself a double nade. I'm not sure if we're going to see that in the replay, but if we can, it would be massive. That is Kobe Bryant, NBA Shaquille O'Neal, all of the above.
He's almost as tall as how big Denmark are going right now as they just tear their way through. Luckily, the money has finally been wired into the bank accounts of Singapore. They can get out these AK-47s, invest heavily into it, but I don't think they can actually afford the AWP as well. And here you go, there's that nade. Rolls up. Boom. Blown out of the server.
That's almost, Shaquille O'Neal, I think, is over 3 toms in height.
Exactly.
So that's quite tall.
That is.
Anyway, the buy is now out for Singapore. This is their opportunity to get themselves to stop Denmark getting onto match point. And I mean, if Denmark get on match point here, that's the game in the bag, and that's the first map. Now, of course, this is Singapore's pick. Singapore chose to play on this map, as Cadian will just volley top of the middle. Glaive just aiding his teammate, not Canading him, just aiding him. And a 5 versus 5 situation continues, but no AWP on the side of Singapore, however. Cadian still holding on to that scout. But I'm not going to say anything about Cadian having a scout because he's very, very good with a scout.
Especially on Dust2, it's a weapon that can be used fantastically. It's such an organic weapon. You can rotate so quickly as well when you have it. Like, scoped in mobility is just fantastic. So it's always good to also get those tags out from long distance, soften up the opponents, and then you can just rip your way through them as Denmark with these rifles later on into the rounds. There is a little bit of panic as well. You can see Singapore trying to slow it down. They do want to try and go for that late take towards the air bomb site. Get that long control, send one player up short as well, it seems. Going very heavy on long control. Possibly it is just going to be Benkai going through mid actually more than anything. Glace, a lot of this rides on him. Snappy is currently trying to aid his teammate towards the A bomb site in case they come up from short, but it's not going to be that play. They will just be sprinting out the back of the pop flash and try and take control. Glace has to go huge now. You'd expect 2 or more frags essentially to buy his teammates enough time as he rattles away, but can't do it. Moxie, the headshot comes in as he just picks him off. Snappy needs to respond as well. This man is usually so damaging. He can just tear your team apart individually with the AWP in his hand though. Is he going to be able to live up to that name? The headshot comes out on towards Deja Vu. Hungry for more, but Glaive is doing work up on short. Gives those 2 players the business, and it all falls onto him now. As they go across, he is just ripping through everyone. Tommy, 8 seconds left on the clock, but it won't matter. He takes him down.
That is insane. 2 kills come out over on short, and then he turns around. He gets so much tagging damage through onto the remaining player. He destroys him, and any hopes he had of getting back onto that bomb site. Glaive becomes a god. He's had a good game so far, but he just made it 3 times better. Here it is. The first 2K comes in on short, and then he turns around and like a monster demolishes the first player, being patient and cautious like a snake. He takes out the second.
With absolute authority, and Cadian as well to kick it off. What a kill. I mean, God help them right now as Cadian is going massive frag after frag of complete domination. This man is unstoppable.
Yeah, this is insane now. Cadian is just so confident, and this is a man that thrives off confidence, thrives off his team and him going large, and once he starts, he never stops. Momentum is key. Deja Vu going to find himself one, but Valde trades it straight back out onto Tommy, now in a 4 versus 2, and very little control being handed away to the Singaporeans. Valde finds one, and Deja Vu on only 15 HP will find a kill, but he's given away, and Cadian with a 3K in the round, finished it off how he started it, and that is a very, very good bit of play.
I know they want the favourites. Everyone wanted the underdog to show up, but you got to give a hand to Denmark for that one. Just round after round of domination. So many flashy plays, and look at Cadian here.
Insane.
He was the master at getting these frags towards lower dark.
Yeah, some of the frags we were seeing there from Cadian and Glaive were just insane. Impact kills on impact kills. It's just real good play from Denmark, and I don't think we're going to see this stop at any time. That's not a word.
Yeah, anytime they tried to get through tunnels, like, he could just rip his way through them.
Absolutely.
Just over and over again. It was fantastic. There were so many impact frags on that side coming out from him. Even towards early game mid-peaks, he was on point being able to land those
tags
shots.
all the
Tags
time.
as well, yeah. That B-bomb site was weak on Singapore's CT half because he was getting those consistent tags out, and it makes it so much easier. If you don't have that sustain, a single nade could knock you down into the region of 10 HP off the back of that due to that first tag, and it's just not the situation you want to be in.
No, it's definitely not what you want. But guys, we are going to be back very soon. Don't go anywhere. If you're in the stadium here with us, make sure you go get yourself a burger, a popcorn, or potentially an orange juice. But be back in about 5 minutes because we're going to go for a break, but then we're going to be back with the second map. And that's going to be exciting. Let's see if Singapore can get back into this or if it's going to be the Denmark show.